Hello, I'm Scott duPont with another episode of Finance Your Movie, sharing tips and strategies to help you fund your independent feature, documentary, short film, or web series. Our mission is to empower you to get your money to tell your story. Mentors and coaches. You probably heard that age old expression success leaves clues. You don't need to go out and blaze a trail all by yourself and try to figure it out. You'll make a lot more mistakes. It's always better to learn from people that have been doing it ahead of you, exactly what you want to do, including people who have raised money for films. Tony Robbins has a great um, expression. He has this term condensing decades down to days, meaning if you can extract all the wisdom and all the knowledge from somebody in the exact field that you want to do, why not just learn from what they've already done? Now, the caveat here is you only want to listen to good advice from someone who's already gotten the results you want. Let me give you a couple examples you can probably relate to, especially in the entertainment business. Have you ever looked at an acting teacher or thought about signing up for an acting class and the guy teaching the class, he claims he's an actor, but he has no real credits or very, very few credits? Or on a more broad scale, you remember in high school or if you went to college, that economics or finance professor that was teaching how to manage money the whole time, and you leave class the same time and you see him get into this really crappy car that actually breaks down on the side of the road. Now, you can't judge a book by your cover, so I don't want to prejudge that economics professor I just mentioned isn't wise with his money, and it's not wise to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on a fancy car that depreciates. That's not the point. My point is you really want to investigate who you're learning from and make sure that they have the results that you want to get. Otherwise, it's bad advice. By the way, there's a huge shift happening now. I've noticed it over the past 3 to 5 years more than ever, is people are shifting away from traditional educational institutions like colleges, film schools, and universities, and they're starting to go directly to real world experts, either by attending seminars that can last a weekend or 1 or 2 weeks, or taking an online course, or hiring someone, the expert, as a coach. And the reason for that is the cost of education is just getting outrageous. I mean, if you're going to attend a 4 year college, it could be tens of thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars now. um, Even a film school can be tens of thousands of dollars. And I'm not advocating not going to film school at all. I'm just saying that there is a paradigm shift, and for those who don't have a lot of extra money, there are some lower cost ways that you can fast track your career to become a producer or to become a director. And they're not always the right course for you, but this is just a shift that's going on. So many of these specific programs and courses I mentioned, they're online now, and you can always go up. Another idea is you can always ask someone that you might network with who's kind of a rising producer who maybe's just done one film and you've done none, or maybe some young girl who you've met who's done two really low budget independent films or a web series, but she's ahead of you in terms of producing. You could ask that guy or girl if they could mentor you and work out some kind of exchange. Um, of course, the best thing to do if you have some money is to hire a coach, because a coach not only is going to share all of his or her wisdom with you, but they're going to objectively take a step back and look at what you're doing, that sometimes you get so inside of yourself you're making these little mistakes, but you don't always see it. So, coaching can give you the winning tools, but it also gives you confidence. And most important, it leads to results. Another tool I suggest to everyone, and as I promised from the beginning, full disclosure here, I get a small amount of money if someone signs up for Millionaire Flicks and listens to my full podcast there. But the main reason I push millionaireflicksoffer.com so hard is that for $20 a month, you can get over 3,000 hours of videos, audio interviews, podcasts, coaching sessions from the biggest names in finance and show business. Many of them by the world's number one wealth coach, JT Fox, who, by the way, has become a major film investor himself. JT is someone that I often pay a lot of money to for advice, and he always delivers value for me and other established producers. The guy that initially coached and mentored Tony Robbins was a guy named Jim Rohn years ago, and he had a brilliant saying: invest more in yourself than you do in your job. Because no job, even if you have a job at a production company, if you have a job in the entertainment business, no job lasts forever. But if you invest money and if you invest time in yourself, skills, you can take more control over your career. Trust me. And this especially applies to film fundraising. You want to constantly be networking, learning from others who have successfully raised money, and keep soaking up as much knowledge as you can. Learn from other people, and you can fast track your film or web series project in no time. And not just investing money in yourself, it's investing your time. And I want to sincerely, I don't want to sound cheesy here, but I sincerely want to thank you for listening right now, because you're just listening to this podcast, you're investing in yourself right now. The film students I used to audition for 20 years ago when I first started acting, and when I first started, I auditioned for many student films for no money, happily, because I wanted to get experience in front of the camera. I wanted to get my first credits. I wanted to get my first film clips. The film students I saw really investing in themselves early in their career and taking things seriously, even when they were in film school, were the ones years later, like a guy I auditioned for several times, Darren Lynn Bousman. Those players are major players in Hollywood right now. So investing in yourself, investing a little bit of money when you have it, and investing your time will pay off in the long run. Now, I know there's probably a lot of people listening right now that were like I was very early in my career, 25 years ago, 20 plus years ago, who are a little tight on money. So, one of the best things you can get for very little money is to invest in some books. I myself, when I first started out 25 years ago, before I got into producing, I was getting into acting, like I said first. I got every single acting book I could, producing books, filmmaking. I got books on film distribution, marketing, networking, fundraising. And the top two books I recommend to every new producer for learning how to do a killer business plan and to help you decide on the business structure. The first book is called Filmmakers and Financing by Louise Levinson. Uh, the second book, and this is more just about how to build a network of potential investors and how to interact with people that you can later approach for investing in your films, is called Guerrilla Networking. It's part of the Guerrilla Marketing and Sales books, a very, very famous series. And if you don't have money to buy all these books on Amazon or wherever you're shopping, the best investment you can do is, if you have not already, go to your local library, especially if you're in Hollywood. I think there's 29 different branch libraries that are part of the Los Angeles County. In my case, years ago, I was in Orlando, Florida, and Orange County had something like 10 or 12 branches throughout the whole county. So having that library card, you can get books from all the different affiliated branches delivered right to your local library to pick up. Or these days, you can also get most every book as an ebook or an audiobook. And you'll also, many libraries cards now will give you several different free apps like Canopy and Overdrive, where you can get most of these books on an audiobook or just get films you want to study, um, either online or get the DVD or Blu-ray. Um, I strongly applaud you for listening to this podcast, but listen to other podcasts on different subjects just to keep expanding your skill sets and make you a more valuable person in your journey to producing your project. Also, you want to attend as many seminars as you can. I go to high dollar seminars at least 2 to 3 times a year, where I'll take a week or a weekend. I'll invest in myself. It's also good networking, where I've met over the years film investors. But if you don't have a lot of money, you can go to free or very, very low cost seminars at film festivals, the Producers Guild of America, SAG-AFTRA has branches all over the country. There are groups nationwide like Women in Film, and even your local film commission will put on seminars that may be related to film producing and sometimes film financing, where you can, even if you just learn one or two things, it will expand your capabilities as a fundraiser. Another idea I just want to leave you with is consider doing an internship at an independent production company, not necessarily a studio. Not only will you learn more about filmmaking or how these people do web series, but you also learn about how they raise money for their projects. I have two friends who did this, and after interning and or working at their prospective companies for a few years, one guy got his own film funded for almost $500,000, and the other friend got his script sold to a major film studio. The guy that got almost a $500,000, the money actually came from his boss at the independent production company. So uh, things like that can really pay off. I hope that over multiple podcasts, I can deliver some value for you, even if it's just giving you a few simple ideas each week that you start implementing. Feel free to share this with other team members you're going to partner with on your fundraising journey. And it's always easier to raise money for a project when you have a few producers all working together as well. And of course, you'll also be talking to different potential investors out there. So, always a good idea, if possible, to partner with some friends or some other people. Tune in next week, and for more info, visit financeyourmovie.com. Thank you for listening, and remember, if you have a story to tell the world, never give up on your dream. Copyright Nemours Marketing.